for a second, please. All right, let's do a quick look-see on each of these charts. Here, for instance, you can see on the YM contract, this is $5 a tick. Some traders like to trade this. We had a nice move up here just prior to the market open. This is 5:30 Pacific. Market open here at 6:30 Pacific. Get a couple nice little probies. See a little probies. Up she goes, up she goes. We get a little break up here to a fresh high around just before 7 o'clock. It almost looks like a little double top up here. See, we almost hit the 12K mark, right? Then we roll over, and what's interesting, and most of the markets did this, of course, we come down and we check this little line in the sand, so to speak, here. And we put in a little consolidation pocket for about 10 minutes. Guidance had flipped, right? Guidance had flipped, so we're looking for shorts, right? And we had a nice little support area sitting right about in here. Call it 11,950-ish. Then depending on your entry and your trailing stops, you could have taken the short there, and then of course you see it broke down very nicely to 870. Remember we were saying watch this area around 880? Well, you can see why we said that, right? See the swing low from over here? And see how now it's there we just got filled. Just got filled. Just took out the low. You're filled short. All right, you're filled short Roosty too. I mean, Roosty got filled short too. Taking out the swing lows here. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? What do you think? Could be a double bottom, Hans says. So we just shorted YM. All right, now, we know this is all in sim and we're kind of playing around, but this is real live data, by the way. So this is the actual data you're seeing live. What are we going to do now on YM now that we're filled short? Guidance is short. We took out support. What do we got to do now? That's right. We're going to put a protective buy stop in, yes? Where might we want to put that? Does it look good here? Should we get it down here tight? Who wants 83 or 92 on the stop? 83, 92 on the stop. 83, Nasir says. Okay, 83. Any takers at 92? Protective stop. We're filled short on YM, $5 a tick. You're oscillating around the entry near the swing low of the morning here. 92, 83. It's a tight stop here. It's a trailing stop dots. Here's a little swing level, so it's more risk. Interesting to note here, you did break the lows also on Roost Eye. See it? See how you just took it out? Now you're feeling some heat. Notice how NASDAQ never broke its low. Never broke its low. It might do it right now. Where might we put a stop on Russell? Got a couple of choices here. Protective buy stop. Who wants 35.60? Who wants 34.40? Nasir wants 34.60. 34.60. Going once, going twice. Russell breaking down. We have a little sell order under our little line in the sand over here on EMD. We're not near it yet. Other markets weak comparatively speaking. NASDAQ not filled yet. Who wants to lower the stop on YM? If we take the support level, you want to get it down here close to break even? YM breaking. YM trying to roll. Nazi approaching entry. 34.60. Who said 34.60? Greg wants to stop at 34.60. Greg wants to stop there on Russell. All right. All right. Not filled on NASDAQ yet. NASDAQ just checking the lows. YM still weak. Notice YM right now is not breaking support. Now you're going to notice this when you get into some of these trades, okay? You're going to notice this a little bit when you get into some of these trades. What you're really looking for is what we call follow-through. In other words, when a market comes and breaks a swing, if you didn't get in from up here and you got in from down here, ideally you want to see this type of price action. Break, swing, retracement, break, swing, retracement. And it should theoretically be taking these swings out, but it's not, right? Not yet anyway. Here's the Russell. Russell's broken supports, oscillating around our entry. Should come down and break this swing at 32.50 if we're going to get continuation. Notice EMD has not checked its line in the sand over here just yet. Line in the sand, by the way, if you're new to the terminology, is our guidance dots from the Pro package right here. When we say line in the sand, this is kind of our swing levels we watch if we want to be long or short. So technically speaking, EMD should theoretically be long above this level. But given the weak nature of the other markets, we feel that it might break in here. So we're going to go ahead and put a little trial short right in there. See, this time of day, you're at 8:30 Pacific. And this here says, trust the dots on YM. Okay. Are you saying to get the stop down? Who wants to get the stop on YM down to 83, 84, a tick behind the stop dots? There you go. Greg says yes. All right, we're not filled short. We don't have a short on NASDAQ. Never took the lows. Oscillating around the entry. We've got a tight stop on Roosty here. Might get us. Want to leave the stop tight or loosen it? Tight stop or loosen? Tight stop or loosen? You got to make the decision. You got to make the call, right? Tight or loose? Tight. What? Just to let you know, if we got some new folks in here. Tight stop is where we go just a tick or two behind the stop dots. A looser stop is where you put it up near a swing level. See a swing? So you're allowing what we call, you hear sometimes in the room, wiggle room. We let some wiggle room. So you're letting the market sort of move around down here a little bit. The downside of the wiggle room approach, of course, is that your stop is much looser. See, now you're only down 8, 9 ticks here. So if your stop was down here, a tick or two behind the entry, behind these stop dots, you would only take a pop for maybe 10 ticks, yes? Whereas up here, you're looking at a stop considerably wider, 15, 16 plus. These are the trade-offs you have to make when you're trading, yes? Look up here at YM. Just missed us by a couple of ticks. Trying to roll. EMD nowhere near the line in the sand yet. So EMD is kind of doing its own thing over here. See that? Who wants to get the stop on the Russell back down? This here says take her back down to 34.70. All right. Can do. Not getting much follow through just yet. Looking for a swing rollover. This would be some type of retracement probe and roll over and break support. That's what we're looking for. We're not getting an EMD going the other way. That's not good. That's not good for our shorties. Oop, just got stopped out. All right, so there was a stop out on the Russell. We never got filled on NASDAQ, right? And we're not hitting our stop yet on the YM contract here. We're just down 5 ticks, oscillating around the entry. All right. Question for the team here while we're watching this in real time. Is this a yellow bar probe on Russell? Should we re-short here? Or would you like to sell up here at this resistance level? Any takers? Any takers on selling the Russell up in there? What do you think? Anybody want to sell the Russell up in there? She gets up into this 35, 50, 30, 36 area. How about this? How about this one? Who said to get back in? Orland said to get back in. Who wants to sell NASDAQ up in here? Notice our YM never stopped out. And it's hard to say if this is a yellow bar probe on EMD or not, yes? You could draw a little downtrending line like such. Who wants to short EMD here? That's all in sim. Anybody want to short EMD here? You want to wait for here or short it now? How about Russ? How about the Roosty? Sell? Sell. Okay, we're getting a couple of sells coming in. Short the Roosty. Short the EMD. There you go. You're in. Now that you've chosen to get in here, you're going to have to put a stop up here, yes? Okay, we're filled short on Roosty. Some of you said go in and sell, 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 so we have to get our stop in, yes? We're going to see if that was a good move or not. Interesting, YM came down here and checked the swing load. See that? Not breaking on NASDAQ just yet. Roosty trying to roll and break here. See if EMD can, we got to get our stop here. YM looks like the weakest of the bunch, doesn't she? Although she's not breaking that swing low yet. We'll just go another minute or two. Bruce says, I shorted 10:30 Central Time, made 10 ticks. Yellow bar probe, Murray math line, reshorted. Okay, good, Bruce. Well, you know, it takes two sides to make a market. We say that all the time, right? You know, it takes sellers and buyers, right? So it's interesting to see how different traders view the market. Some people see bottoms as a buying opportunity. They come in, they buy, they're sort of swooping into the shorties that are covering down there, right? Other traders look at, you know, sell-offs as opportunities to get short. For instance, here on NASDAQ. Well, my data's all messed up. My NASI data's all. We've had data issues this morning, so my apologies. Let me see if I can show the EMD trades. Yeah, I got enough data on EMD. Let's take a look at that real quick. So this is our little BIP up at the open. Remember we were watching these swings and we got a little break right at the open, remember? We were watching these swings. Here's the open of the market, 6:30 Pacific was right in here on EMD, 9:30 Eastern, kind of right in there. You could have made note of the fact, I don't know if Gary had this on the chart, he probably did. We had this little uptrending, ascending, pennant, triangle type formation that was forming. I think we called a break of, I can't remember, 97.50, 90, something right in here. Called this break. Gave us a little 20-tick popper right around the open. Remember that long trade we got right out of the gate? I think some of you took it. Remember? Got a little double top here. See how it popped up, pulled back, gave us a second chance to get out. You don't always get this, but sometimes you do. See a little double top popping there, pop, pop, pull back, boom. We said ring in the cowbell. If you haven't taken your coin, get out up here. Remember? And then, you know, it was interesting. We kind of go into this little pocket of consolidation before she broke, right in here. See, coming up to the 7 o'clock hour. Remember we say you always get sort of this pre-market open trade set up between like 6:30, 6:35, 6:40 coming into the 7 o'clock hour Pacific, 10 Eastern. And then right around 7 we break. So here she takes out support right in here. Boom, done. There's your first leg down, retracement. Down she goes. Nice short trades. Remember this? Anybody take these? I know a couple traders took these. Here's our probe trade retracement, boom, and then we get another nice leg down right here like such. EMD was quite the little mover today, wasn't it? I mean, I think you got 20, 25 ticks on that pop. You got 87, 82, probably about 40 ticks or so on that pop. 40, 45 ticks on that drop. And then here even if you waited until the break of 92, you said, well, I need to see support levels taken out. So you didn't even short it until in there. You still got the better part of 60, 70 ticks. Let's go over and see what's happening now. All right, what happened to our friends over here? Not much follow through either direction. EMD seems like she wants to roll and break. She's not quite doing it just yet. We're looking for EMD to take this little support level out here to validate our short entry. Not quite doing it just yet. Roosty is the weakest of the bunch. Oops, look at that there. Now this is a good lesson. All right, here. Oh, I'm just going to show this and then we'll finish up the recap. Look at this little right here. See that? See the top of that wick of that candle? Look at what it did. Yeah, that's right, Bruce. EMD is in what we call yellow bar squash soup. That's right, squash soup. Same with Nazi. Look at this here. I mean, talk about a consolidation area. Look at this. She is going a whole lot of nowhere. Now, look at what happened here. How many of you said get that YM stop down tight? Remember? We had her stop right in here, didn't we? Remember? Let's see, it was a buy stop. How many of you called that out? Was that too tight? See how that happens sometimes? See how the wick of that candle nicked you by just like a tick? That's okay, Nasir. This is part of the learning process. You know, we're all watching this together. Sometimes we say, Yeah, we're getting a nice breakdown on EMD, actually, getting a little follow through here. Roosty taking out support. How many of you want to short YM here now? Short it? Sell, 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 sell? It's right at the lows. All right, couple yeses. All right, there you go. You're in YM too. Interesting, our friend Mr. Nazi has not broken yet. Look at that. Look at NASDAQ. It just will not take that low out. We got to get our protective buy stop over here. There you go. Yeah, you know, what we're trying to show here on this stop is we're not trying to call anybody out, obviously. It's all subjective somewhat and judgmental, unless you're running line trader or one of the auto traders, which automatically manages the stops at the appropriate levels. But if it's a judgment call here, sometimes you're going to put it just a tick or two too tight. Now, this is obviously sloppy soup, so that you're not going to really want to take these trades, right? That's why we're playing around in sim. But in a nice trending market, when the market's really running, right? Like over here, for instance, on EMD, when she was really breaking down and running, you know, when you come up and you get these little thrust, probe, start to break down, fresh low, taking out the lows. If the market's trending in that first hour, hour and a half very nicely, and you get nicked by a tick or two, just look for a good logical reentry place, and you can get right back in, right back on the horse, right? All right, so on our this will be the last thing, and then we're going to wrap. I'm going to close all these out. How many of you want to tighten the stop on Russell, and if so, where would you put it? Tighten the stop on the Russell, that's TF right here, and where would you put it? Right now we're sitting right above this swing level right here. Anybody want to come down into here, here, here? So you got three little swings. In fact, it's hitting the first swing. Here's a swing, here's a swing. Nazi's actually pinging the other direction. Look at that, just missed our entry. You got to sell here and you got to sell here. So you're trying to box it in and get her short. Lauren says just close it out. All right, good. You know what? We can hit flat and everything. We like to do these little exercises to help visualize trades in real time. This is obviously not the optimal time to do it because it's just soup. Let's just close this out. Close out EMD, soupy. Close out the Russell, soupy. NASDAQ, you are absolute soup. You get nothing. And YM, you're just taunting us. No soup for you. All right, good. Well, we just like to do that. Rich, did you have something that you wanted to pop over and show real quick?
Yeah, I did, Charles. I just wanted to show there were some questions here because we had some time changes.
Okay.
Let me do that.
Oh, Lauren, yeah, thanks. That was a good webinar on Saturday. Yeah, that was a good webinar. We're going to have some follow-up to that this week. We promised some things to the team, little trader kit. We're going to get that together this week. Have some nice videos, good screenshots. It's like a little trader kit. We're going to get that together in the next few days this week. Get that posted up. I'm going to step away for a couple minutes, guys. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, I think we should be able to see it here. Yep, here we go. Okay. So let me just pull up the parameter box here and we're going to take a look at this. Okay, so what we're referring to here, if you're running any of the oracles, either for the futures or for the Forex, and whether that's on the indicators or on the strategies, we're focusing in on this time offset. Okay, this is the time offset that's defaulted. This is West Coast, defaulted to West Coast time. So in the past, what we've always done is, for example, if you're on the East Coast, you're 3 hours ahead, uh, and therefore you're going to subtract 3 from 13, and you're going to put a 10 in here. Now, as we mentioned, we had a time change, we went back. And so if you had that time change over the weekend, there isn't anything that you need to do. Just verify that you've got the correct number in here, though. So we gave that example. How about if you're on Central Time, maybe in Chicago? Well, you're 2 hours ahead of West Coast, so you're going to subtract a 2 from here. You'll put an 11 in here. Likewise, I believe now in Europe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Europe now is 8 hours ahead for the most part. Germany, Holland. If you're 8 hours ahead, you're going to subtract 8 from 13, and of course that'll give you a 5. 5 is what you're going to put in here. In Arizona, if you live in Arizona and you're on your computer time there, or Hawaii, you don't go in and out of daylight savings time, so you're going to have to make an adjustment in here. But just go on what your time is. Lastly, just to continue the example, let's say you're over in Australia, you might be 17 hours ahead. So you're going to subtract 17 from 13, you'll have a minus 4 in here. Okay? Everybody see that?
Rich, Marco making a couple of comments there. He's got a couple of numbers, 9 or 4 for him in the Netherlands.
Okay. Marco, let me ask you this. What time is it there right now? In the Netherlands right now?
Let's see, 8:49 Pacific. He is 17:49 Netherlands.
17:49. Okay. So you're still 9 hours ahead then, it looks like. Is that right?
17. Yeah. Yeah, right at 9 hours.
So you're back 9 hours. All right. So yeah, you guys just had a switch last weekend. So if my math was off, if you're 9 hours ahead, you're going to subtract 9 from 13, and that will give you 4. 4 is what you'll have right here. So that's what you put in. If you're 9 hours ahead, you're going to subtract 9 from 13 will give you 4. And that's correct. Okay? That's right. Okay. So now the correct value over there in the Netherlands or in Germany will be 4. All right. Everybody see that? Any more questions on the time offset here?
Rich, Don Tony had a question here. Let me see if I can. For the currencies, is there a way to incorporate the guidance dots with the 3 ducks?
Well, not on a strategy right now, Don Tony. You can put it up like it is here. You know, you can go ahead and just put them on the chart. But as far as doing it with the strategy right now, no. You know, that could be a future consideration if I understand your question right. And Lowell, let's see, Lowell says right now it's 9:51 a.m. in Arizona, so that's 1 hour ahead, right? It's 8:51 here Pacific, 1 hour ahead. You're going to subtract 1 from 13, you'll have 12. So your entry time will be 12 on that one, Lowell. 12. Okay? I think that's got it. I think that has it. Just by the way, look how nice this entry was over here when the futures oracle got above +2. You had a very nice move to the upside, and then when it got below -2, depending on where your stop was, you got to give it some room to work. Okay, but you had a pretty nice move here. Now we're a little bit behind the curve today because, like I said, one aspect is anytime you get a time change like this, it really kind of skews things off for a day. But right now what's been happening is because the markets have been driven so far, the midterm is turning a little bit slower. And that's why we talked about this last week. You know, you can focus in on the short term here as well. But now by tomorrow we should be synced back up again. The markets will make their adjustment and everything will be good to go.
All right. Well, I can tell you this, that there are times to trade and times to not trade. And when you see a market chopping and going sideways and you're conflicted with the guidance dots and you're not breaking down to taking out levels, support, resistance, you really want to stay out. That's what we call a consolidated, choppy, messy market. If you're all set there, Rich, I just want to do this one last thing, and then I'm not going to take any trades. I just want to show it.
All right.
See how messy this is right now, everybody? See how messy it is? You can put a box around all these. You really, I mean, there's times to trade and there's times not to trade. It's equally as important to know when to not be in a market as it is to know when to get into a market. Here you can see, look how soupy and messy these are. And you saw us take trades in here, right? We came in and we popped some trades, remember? We got short, got filled here, filled there, stopped out. These are not markets where you're gonna get stopped out. You're not gonna make any money. The risk return is just not there for you. So when you see tight consolidation range, 20, 30 ticks, 35 ticks in a box, these are I'm just gonna say straight up, just do not take trades in here. There's just no trend. Don't let this slop take away all your nice profits from the trades this morning. It's getting very late in the morning, 9 o'clock. I mean, there might be a high energy or something set up late towards the end of the close of the market, last hour, maybe something like that. You can look there, but stay out of the chop.
Hey, Charles, before we go, I can actually show how to change the oracles.
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay. Let me go ahead and
Flip back
switch
over to you.
Some people are asking about that.